All right, party people, let's get this party started. So this recording is for purpose of the video, you can read there, is for script certified, and just a roadmap on how to sell 40 to 50 houses as an added bonus, but mostly script certified. We're going to talk a few moments here in a bit just on the ins and outs, on the things we have to do. But one of the reasons I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but one of the reasons that really made me want to focus on this video now is the market's changed, and it's very similar to the market where I began selling real estate in, where there's a lot of similarities, but there's definitely some differences. So with that, I want to talk about two ways to do real estate. There's actually several, but the two ways you can do real estate here at CREE, one definitively works and the other one kind of works, but not really. So a couple reasons around this. So number one, on this team, you're going to make phone calls. We're going to do. You can network all you want to. That is fantastic. We can do social media, even better. But in order to get to the level where you need to be to have a seat on the bus on this team, we're a prospecting-based team, and that's never going to change. We're always going to pick up the phone. We're always going to make dials. Okay. And this goes into the next topic. Most valuable thing I can ever tell you in real estate. Okay. Most agents, if they actually speak to someone, they pick up the phone, or if they go to an open house or door knocking, they get an email address and, James here, I want to send you some home ideas and I'll follow back up. Send you some home ideas, follow. Let me know when you want to go see something. That is the worst way to do real estate. How do I know? I've seen agents on this team fail doing it that way and not live up to anywhere close to their potential. And me personally, I did that for a handful of months when I started in real estate. I thought my way was better, and I learned the very hard way when I didn't sell any real estate, that you got to get face to face. So the most valuable thing I can tell you in real estate is anytime that you have an MC, meaningful conversation, we have to find a reason to get face to face. We're going to talk about some reasons here in a little bit, some additional reasons, our general recommendation, things along those lines, but write that down. The most valuable thing I can ever tell you in real estate is set the face-to-face appointment with every deep level MC. Now, if you're 50-50 on it, it's probably still better to set the appointment than not. Now, if it's just somebody who's kicking the tire, who could do something, obviously we're not setting the appointment. I want to leave it at that, is use good judgment. But every time you have a really good conversation with somebody, we get the face-to-face appointment. It's the difference of you selling 20 houses to 40, 50 plus. It's worked. And I'm living proof that it works in my way of, hey, I'll send you some home ideas and follow up. I'm going to follow up better than anybody else. I'm sending videos. I'm going to send them this. Don't, does not work. Does not work. Not at the high level if you're on this team that you want it to be. All right, so let's talk about set, met, sign, and why we do it. What is set, met, sign? It's a huge cadence for our team. Set, met, sign. How many appointments you set? How many did you meet? How many did you sign? Okay, so let's talk about some of the reasons why we kind of think that way. Set, met, sign. So let's talk about the first part, setting the appointment. So the first part of this, and one of the big reasons why, I'm doing this video and we kind of focused the end of last year, especially into this year, on some of the things we're working on, is just setting the face-to-face appointment. We have to be good listeners. So one of the goals over the next year or two is we will be the best damn listening team, not prospecting team. We always want to prospect, but the best listeners. Okay. And we're going to do that through script certified. It's going to require some work from you guys on your own. We're going to role play some too, but we have to be good listeners. Why? So we can ask really good questions. Why? So we can get to the motivation. Why? So we understand if they have any pain. Why? So we can get their current living situation. We can nail down the timing. We can make suggestions. We can give advice. But it starts with listening. And that's the reason why we have our scripts, not so we sound like robots, but we know it's like a second language. We know what to say and ask. So it gives us the ability to listen at a much higher level. Do you have to ask the questions all the same way? No. In time, those things will change. Okay. So let's talk about the set appointment. What's the difference between, what's the value? Big word there. What's the value? So, you know how many agents, if I had to count all the agents I've spoken to and the teams we worked with, and the lack of, they just don't get face to face. Team members don't get face to face. I'm like, let's look at your numbers. Look at the amount of leads, you look at the appointment set, look at the closings, like what in the world? So the best agents, and I guarantee you only 5% of agents work like this, if that, and I'm stretching, pulling a hamstring over here. 5% of agents do this, where every time they have a meaningful conversation, they either bring them to their office, they meet them at their office, they meet them at their home, a coffee shop, and then even a Zoom these days, right? So when we set the appointment, we're establishing a lot. Number one, we're convincing somebody to get face to face. So we have to be a good listener, ask really good questions, show value, make a recommendation. When we set the appointment, we're setting the standard that number one, we're different than other people. We're going to take the time to get together. We're going to talk business, but I'm also going to build some rapport and become your friend slash business friend as well. Okay. That's around the set. Now around the Met, let's move forward. Around the Met, we're in the realm of let's just call some numbers the way we see them. In general, we're about 65, 66% on average, some higher, some lower, depending on the appointment set, the quality of conversation, and if it was an ISA set appointment or self-set. But in general, over the years, we've been right around 2 out of 3 that we set, we actually meet. Now that's a blend. Actually, it's on the buyer side. Seller side's a fraction, not much, but a little. So set to Met. So when we meet with somebody, think about what you've accomplished. You've convinced somebody that more than likely did not know you to meet face to face. That's amazing. You realize the conversation and then the relationship that you have when you meet someone face to face. It's gold. It's gold. They will listen to you if they trust you. They will listen to you for anything real estate related. And oftentimes they're going to say, "You make my decision for me." Right? I don't even want to know what's like. You make my decision for me. Okay. Now, also, when we're talking about, just meeting people in general, it's super powerful that we ask for the referral. We're going to talk about signed here in a minute, right? Because once we get that, and that's one part that I missed on in real estate, like from early on for a long time, is asking for referral. Okay. So, but when we get together with them, what are we doing? We can talk about more. It's just kind of a little bit off track, but it's okay. There's value here. So when we get together, we're going to build the rapport first, like a listing appointment. I'm not going to talk business with you until I build the rapport and understand your situation. Help me understand your situation. Let's build a little rapport, dabble a little bit with that. And then let's dig in around what are you looking to accomplish? Like this is, okay, let's suppose we're face to face. James, we're talking, I tell him, like, James, this is what I was looking to accomplish today with you. What were your expectations? What were you looking to accomplish? Right? It gives him a chance to open up and like, these are my concerns. I'm concerned about X, Y, and Z. Perfect. We're going to talk about X, Y, and Z. And we're also going to talk about the things I want to, and we're going to high five and we want to sign paperwork. Okay. So we can do that face to face. Over the phone, playing tag. Hey, I'll call you. Call me if you want to see some houses. Doesn't work. You can't build that sort of relationship. You can talk to them, but the relationship is a lot more powerful. Now, let's talk about signed. Sign. When it comes to getting paperwork signed, we have our buyer loyalty. Okay. And the mindset is the absolute most important thing around this. You have to believe that you and this team are far more valuable, like working with, than working with any other team or agent here in the area. 95% of agents here in this area work solely. And about 85% of them we would classify as part-time. Maybe 90% are part-time agents. And the average agent right now, because there's more agents and less homes being sold, selling 3 houses, maybe 4 on a yearly basis, right? But you have to believe in your education that you've learned. You have to believe in our processes, and then all the years of experience that this team offers you to bounce ideas off and to sell real estate at a really high level. Okay. So that's number one, the mindset. The second mindset is everyone I meet and I present this to should sign it. It's not a contract. There's a lot more training on this, just the buyer loyalty. Sure, this is the reason people love to do business with us. Boom, straight into it. Okay. So on average, we've had Kim is our highest. I was the all-time highest. I was I can only think of one person I never signed out of several hundred, buyer transactions. However, Kim was right around 94, 95% on every person she met she got that thing signed, which is pretty amazing. But in general, 70, 75% is a good solid number. I would shoot for 80, 90+% on every single person, but it's a mindset. The third mindset around this is respect for yourself. If you don't respect yourself, other people aren't going to respect you. And that comes down to time, comes down to just general respect. You can call it whatever you want to, but it's respect of your time. If you can't sign this simple piece of paper saying you can fire me, and you're simply giving me and my team, the opportunity to find you a good deal, it's going to be difficult for me to work with you, right? And that's the mindset. You can kind of tell people that if you get to a certain point of an objection of not wanting to sign it. However, that's the mindset. That's the third piece. Make sure and write those down. It's the third mindset piece around the set met signed. Okay. Now, moving on before we get into the scripts and script certified, we're adding, you can see all caps there, in current living situation. Okay. So what does that entail? Current living situation. So in your MC blueprint, we've had motivation, timing, motivation, and pain for a while. And in this market, and every market's kind of important, but this market in particular, current living situation is getting more recognition than it ever has from the point of view of CREE. What does that mean? So we can understand pain, and usually sometimes we can get the current living situation with pain. Maybe their rent's going up $500, $600 a month. Maybe they're living with the in-laws, whatever the case is. Let's dig deep around the living situation. Let's take the in-law situation real quick. So what is that? The in-laws, living with the in-laws. Okay. That's painful. How long have you been doing it? How long are you willing to do it? What are your other alternatives if you don't buy? But understand all situations. How painful is it living with your, wife's mother and father in one of the bedrooms, or in separate bedrooms at that? Maybe split them up. Oh man, this is horrible, right? Can you go somewhere else, right? Now is your number one priority buying a house. So understanding the full living situation, the pain, motivation, and timing. So this is new to the MC blueprint, even though you guys don't have that yet, but current living situation. So let's move into script certified. I know everyone is so excited watching this. Make sure we're taking really good notes. So, all right. Let me show you first. I think this would be more beneficial. So this is what script certified sort of challenge. Not gonna be a quiz, not gonna be a test. This is a challenge. How good do you want to be? It starts with knowing this stuff inside and out before you can be a true badass at CREE or just in real estate in general. Okay. So you saw here, these are a bunch of questions, but for script certified, we're just looking for 7 hot diggity dog questions. Metrics per closing, buyer relocate. So when we get to the point where we're saying, cool, Dave, let's do this, right? You're going to get this, and it's going to be there ready to fill out. This is the one, this is your cheat sheet we want to give to you. So a few months ago, we asked all the agents on the team, pick your top, I think it was 7 questions, 10 questions, whatever it was. 5, maybe, I don't know. So I didn't want to limit those. I put every single one of them on here. You can choose your top 7. These are awesome questions. What's your preference was by far like the most that had the most votes. How are you going to make your decision is another one. These are really deep level questions that you need to know the concepts. Making decisions. Are there preferences? This is a great one-liner. Let's break that down. Help me understand. Tell me a little bit more about that. Tell me a little more about your concerns of the market, if they have concerns, right? We're looking for X, Y, and Z. What's more important, right? We're having a difficult conversation. Can I be completely honest with you? Would it make sense to? You pick your 7. You can do more if you want to. Now, I really hope you do. Don't limit yourself to 7. But when it comes to script certified, and you see that on page 1, Simply right there. Write them out. Let's go. Okay. I think we can move on there. You get the point. Metrics per closing. Expect everybody to know this inside and out. Six contacts in general per hour. Could be more, could be a little less. One contact every 10 minutes. 12 minutes is considered a deep level combo, and 75 contacts to get to a closing. In my opinion, if you get really damn good on the phones, you could cut this in half in a heartbeat, especially when people are talking about their timing, their motivation, and you can lead people down the road to like self-discover that they are in a better position to buy sooner or to sell sooner. Sometimes maybe later. It might be in their best interest to sell later or buy later. All right. So you will see right here. Very simple. What are the metrics? Okay. Buyer relocating. 3 things you need to know. Education. This is like your cheat sheet in the back, but there's a lot more here than your cheat sheet and your MC blueprint. So I want you to use this. So 3 keywords we can focus on. So let's suppose we're doing script certified. The only thing you would really need to write here is education, when, current living situation. So if you make a note card, however, you can memorize those. Please use common sense. Don't just memorize those like education. Boom, got it for the test. Know what that means. Okay? Education. How much do they know about their location, things to do, about the schools? How much is their friends and family? How long have they been here? Have they been coaching them? How much education do you know? So we'll get tons of people saying they're, I want to relocate to Charlotte or to the Carolinas. Have you ever been to the Carolinas? No. Right? So it's education. Have you even this is when? When will you be here? Any visits? Could your timing change? So it all comes down to when. When. How much do you know? When will you be here? You got any visits before? When do you need to be in your new home? Could your timing change? When? All of those situations, but it comes down to keyword. Current living situation. What is your current living situation? Oh, we rent. We rent in, Maryland. All right, fantastic. Have you ever owned a home before? Let's dig deep. No, we haven't. Okay. Is there anything that's prevented you in the past from buying a house? Right. This comes back down a little bit here, maybe to the education, not necessarily about the area, but education, motivation. What's held you back in the past? Well, we were in school. Now we both have full-time jobs. We're getting relocated with our companies. And here we are. Yeah. Current living situation. We'll talk about preference here in a minute, but that would be a great time for a preference question. So you're moving here to the Charlotte area. Congratulations. What's your preference on your next living situation? We'll word it that way. Current living situation. Let's use that. Your next living situation. So when you move here, what's your preference? Is it to purchase or to rent? Yeah. And help them to your conclusion. So that's what you would be expected to know for buyer relocating. Options for buyer with low down payments. Yeah, we got 5 solutions. Know these solutions. Gift money, first-time home buyer programs. USDA, are they open to get out in certain parts of Concord, Kannapolis, Lincolnton, parts of Gastonia? VA. Let's suppose you talk to somebody who, maybe she's qualified for 250, 275. You're like, oh, that's going to be a tough price range, but her fiance has great credit, but, he just started a job. Well, was the pre-approval just with you or your fiance? No, just with me because he just started a job and he couldn't qualify. Boom. You're still talking to one of our folks. And actually on here, I can't believe I forgot this one. If you're watching at home, which one do you think it is? Give me 3 seconds. Did you get it right? 401k, borrow. You borrow against your 401k. And sometimes for a first-time home purchase, you can take money out of your 401k. I think there's a few fees associated with that. You have to, actually every one of them set up a little bit differently. However, the government might take, I forget how that works, but I think you have to pay taxes on those dollars. Don't quote me on that, but you can take or borrow money from your 401k for a down payment. So somebody doesn't have a lot of money, but good credit, good paying job, fair enough. These are 6 solutions. Know those 6. So let's update our cheat sheet. Know the 6. Always asking good questions. General recommendation. One of the greatest things ever. Know these 6. And if this is the first time you're watching this and you're new to the team, you will understand what this means at a different point in time. But these are 6, and everybody currently team blows those out of the water. So part of your script certified is to know 7 additional reasons why we should get face-to-face. There's 10 examples. I fibbed. It's 11. And there's a lot more. I just stopped. So education, that can be around areas. That could be around the loan process. That could be educate anything. Game plan, face to the name. We're going to answer your questions around X, Y, and Z, some different neighborhoods, whatever that looks like. Market trends, new versus resale. Let me show you the pros and cons of new versus resale, and the pros and cons of resale versus new. Lender options. It's another reason we're going to get together. USDA. I want to show you how USDA, how to search for those homes, right? We're going to discuss different loan programs, expectations. That's a big one. A lot of people had said that. Let's go over the expectations that you would have from me as a first-time home buyer. Discuss locations and or neighborhoods. So know 7 of these. You can know more. I encourage you to know more, but that is script certified. Boomtown. Boomtown, just a simple Boomtown lead. The key word here is, and I've heard a few people in OT in the office say this a few different ways, and I think they all sound great. I think the main point here is to go for a showing appointment up front. And we changed that about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and I think it's brilliant. We used to ask the first question differently, but just know for script certified, preview homes is essentially the most important keyword to that opening one-liner. And then the second part of this is just knowing if they're not ready to look at homes, we go into LP Mama. And if they are, AR script, done. Super simple. AR 1 through 5, everybody knows these keywords. Just be able to write out your general recommendation. Or excuse me, listen to me. This is a home run appointment recommendation. Home run, HR, that's my bad. I said general rec. Hopefully your ears perked. So be able to write this out here. I want to talk about SCC Bama here in a little bit, and we'll talk about this here. Let's talk about it right now, just for a moment. So the most important thing around AR 1 through 5, okay? Number 1, we're going for the appointment. We're giving them something that they want. We can always take it away if they're not qualified. Number 2, we're establishing time, okay? Why is that important? Well, how about if it's under contract? We establish time, or something happens between, now and the time of showing, or they find out that, they're not able to put a pool in the backyard. We still establish they have time at 2 o'clock tomorrow to see more houses. So these are additional homes, and this is time. Okay. So if something happens, we know we have 2 o'clock available for a sit-down appointment. What are we going to discuss? Already access, all the better deals in case this home doesn't work out is essentially what all this says. That's the whole reasoning, and it's magic. Absolute magic. All right, let's move on. So what you need to know for I have an agent is 70% plus of people truly don't have an agent. And when you get somebody who tells you they don't have an agent and you're not converting at least 7 out of 10 of them, there's a little bit of an issue. You're not doing this, because I know this works. And I know for a fact people do not truly have an agent, because 90% of them are part-time. So the key here, please remember, and be ready for script certified, is understanding the relationship. All of these questions are understanding the relationship. It's a friend, family member, right? Okay, that can mean a lot of things. It could be cousin Eddie. It could be some random person, they see maybe once every 4 or 5 Christmases who sold 1 house. We need to understand the relationship. You don't roll over and play dead. This is what script certified is. And I made bold obligation. That's by far the most important question that you can use in other situations. Let's suppose someone was busy at work, right? And they say, I have an agent, but hey, I'm at work, I don't really have time for you. That's all he said. I said, okay, perfect. No, I hear what you're saying. Sheree, just a really quick question. If I found you an amazing deal, I called you, my team and I, we actually showed it to you, would you still feel obligated to write the offer with the other person? No. If you found me the deal, I would 100%, write the offer with you guys. Awesome. Is this your cell phone? Yes. Cool. Let's do, I'll give you a call later, save my number. Okay. This is the most important question out of all of these. Don't skip, because these are really good questions to understand the relationship before we get the obligation. We don't need to say that. Okay. Already scheduled. I think we're all pretty good on that. Keywords here. And let's suppose your keyword is not exactly this. Okay. I'm okay with that as long as it makes sense. And some of these are going to say, for example, when we do script certified, it's going to say write the full question out. So if you just know soonest and don't know the full question, there's an issue. Okay. So just make sure these are all pretty basic, under contract, no contract, or no show. Yeah. And a few people have had questions over the years. What does Omaha mean? It just means to change your plans. So this is no show. So here, step one, we go for the appointment. We advise, hey, we should, go see if when we use the MLS or the showing time. And then Omaha, we're going for the sit down appointment. Let's change the plan. We're going to go see the house. Oh, now it's a no show. We got a time set now. Let's go for the Omaha. Let's go for a sit down appointment face to face. Right? Email, that's kind of extra, but look at investor. Look at investor. We need to understand the investor. How many have they done? Is it a company, an individual? Whose money is it? What's your goal? Right? Know these keywords. Most investors are going to waste your time. If they're not using their cash, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They took a class for an hour, and here they are. Agent hopping, bullseye. What does that mean? What does that mean? Bullseye. You're working with 5 agents. All 5 agents know you're working with 4 other agents. They don't care about getting you the best price, terms, and conditions, because they know if you don't write an offer on the home that they showed you, you can write an offer with somebody else who shows you the next house. They don't care if you get the best rate, terms, and conditions. You are wearing a bullseye on your back. Let me educate you a little bit more. That kind of is the education portion. And let me make a recommendation. Okay. That has happened multiple times. People, especially like a place like California, where people use multiple agents, use the listing agents as the buyer agent as well. It's just not a good way to do real estate. Cool. Follow up on an MC. Just know, meaningful conversation. This is touching on SEC Bama. We're scheduling a 24, 40-hour callback, texting, hey, save my number, text me back, get e-alerts, potentially connecting to the lender, notes in Boomtown. Look at that. Marketing my home Carolinas. Last piece of the puzzle is BombBomb. You can get these things all in order, and they just happen every single time you have an MC. And actually, if you have an MC, you're getting face to face. All these things should happen anyways. Not even when you get face to face. They should happen after a good, solid, meaningful conversation. Types of motivation questions, same thing. Just know who, what, when, where, why, how. Who buying with? What are you looking for? When are you looking to be there? Where, exactly are you looking? Why are you looking there? Why are you looking to move in June versus now? How is, I don't know. I mean, there's a freaking hundreds of ways, but who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay. Same thing, main fear going to builder. These are just keywords. Know these. Best interest, don't want you to overpay. We see people lose thousands of dollars. Here's my recommendation. I had one guy one time, he bought a new construction, thought he got a heck of a deal. The builder had the market or home on the market about 5 months, 6 months when the market was moving pretty good, but back in 2017, 18. And he the builder had dropped the price. They started listed 350, went to 338. I think like 45 days later, that was like a 45-day process. Next 45 days, they may move the price back up to 352, waited 45 days and dropped the price again to 338. He got it for 338, thought he got a good deal. No, it's out on the market for like 5 months. And when I told him, like, dude, why didn't you use an agent? Because he actually looked at the one that we had listed a year or two before at an open house, I forget what it was. And people don't know what they don't know. You're not always, but there's a strong chance you're going to overpay or not get all the benefits that other people have got. Okay, buyer side rebate, simple. Usually it's too good to be true. Offers usually don't stand out because the rebate companies usually don't have full-time agents. A potential messy process, overpay, right? You're essentially working with someone who doesn't do real estate at the full-time level. And oftentimes they limit you on how many homes you can see and keep a potential retainer fee. There's a lot of different ways those things work. Same thing with relocation. Not going to get priority access. You're going to miss out overpay, which you could probably use here, which I would personally, if you were doing script certified today, I would 100% like give you a big fat check mark for that. Part-time, not in the area. And the key word, the most important part, it's illegal. It's illegal. I don't care what else you say on that. But number one, Sheree, this is what you're telling me. Number one, it's illegal. It should be a huge red flag to you, right? All we need to do is sign one little piece of paper and we'll be able to work with you. Otherwise, I know like you're want to work with somebody probably not from this area, part-time, and the odds of you overpaying and missing out on good opportunities and good deals is pretty damn high. Let me make a record. So this is what you need to know, and then just the content and the concepts around that. Okay, going directly with the listing agent, commission, overpay, best interest. You can read the objection around that. Using a friend is, I mean, this will happen to you. You will lose people, but if you have this memorized and these steps memorized, you will win a ton of people who are, quote, working with their friends. Okay, buyer, seller lead, but nothing on the market. What are we going to recommend? Do I have the answer there? No, I do not. So the keyword is game plan. Game plan, game plan. That's the reason for the face-to-face, is we're going to game plan, right? You're going to learn a little bit more what they're looking for, but when the perfect home does come on the market, we do have a game plan. Just looking, that's a good one. Just looking, okay? Have these questions ready to go. You're going to get that. You're on the dialer, making some dials. Yeah, we're just looking. Okay. Can I help you with anything? Can I do it? No. Awesome. Tell me about what you're looking for. You looking at any specific areas? Tell me a little bit more about that. No, we're just looking. Okay. Are you looking with, your wife? You guys currently live here in the area? Tell me, a little more about your situation. It might take 2, 3, 4 questions, but you need to know these like sort of backbone questions and structural questions to get the person to break and finally open up to you. Okay, fantastic. Just looking, what all areas are you looking in, right? What has you looking right now, or just, kind of browsing right now? Next, I'm busy. Please know the difference between these. Older buyer lead. These are the 3 questions we're going to ask. AR, these are the 4 things. In your MC blueprint, there is 3. Add in 1. Actually, I think it's always been that way. We just missed it in MC blueprint. Back in the day, it's never been updated. So, older buyer. I'm busy. I'm at work. Can you call me back? Perfect. Is this your cell? Yes, it is. What time would work best? And are you not still currently looking for a good deal? Yeah. Yes or no. So if we had script certified today and you just wrote yes or no, I'd be totally game for that. Cell, call back, yes or no. AR that says I'm busy. Hey, Sheree, Dan Carolina real estate experts. Reached out about 123 Main Street. Just want to see what your questions were and a good time to preview the home. Hey, I'm busy. Perfect. They'll say perfect. Hey, I understand. Is this your cell? Are you available? Say it's 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Are you available today around 4:30 or 5 to preview 123 Main Street? I'm really busy. I don't have time to talk about that. Okay, perfect. You did hit the magic red button. So if anyone else calls you, just so you don't get blown up, tell them you have somebody helping you, and that's me. I'm going to text you my information. Let me know a good time to connect and a good time to preview the property. These are the 4 keywords. Is this your cell? Are you available? Supposedly comes in at 6 o'clock. Hey, I'm busy. My wife just showed me this property. And I hit whatever something about to schedule a showing. But we're cooking right now for the kids. It's just really crazy. Hey, I get it. Is this your cell phone number? Yes, it is. Are you free to see that property maybe tomorrow morning around 9:30 or 10? No, I don't know right now. Perfect. You hit the magic red button, sir. His name's John. If anyone else calls you, just tell them, add you to the do not call list, that you have somebody helping you. I'm going to text you. When you have a free moment, text me back and let's coordinate on a time to go preview 123 Main Street. But these are the 4 words, so you don't have to think about it. Okay. Have a home out of state. Okay. When are you looking to get the home on the market? So we're looking for timing. This is key right here. This is going to make, if you do this, it will make you a lot of money. I work with, or my team and I, keyword is network for script certified. I network with top agents around the country. Then we go into the seller questions. Okay, so seller questions are clutch there. We don't send over a referral without, all of our seller questions answered. Why? Because it gives the person we're referring to a heck more of a chance to get the listing. Okay. I want to take a pause break here one moment, but this is the one We talked about a team meeting today. You're the fourth agent to call me. So it's a home lead, it's an AR lead, whatever the case is. I apologize for their unprofessionalism. Apologize is a key word. We can remember if it's unprofessionalism, totally game with that. Tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for, or tell me a little bit more about your home. It's a seller. All right. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about is SCC Bama. We're not Bama fans here. They do have a good football program. However, this is our follow-up. This is our acronym for the follow-up. And one, you need to know it, but even more important, if you want to be a badass, you got to use it. So every time we're talking to somebody, the acronym basically you can read here is save my number. Okay. I'm going to email you some home ideas. I'm going to call back. Seize the callback. I'm going to call you in. I just talked to you today. Suppose you're thinking about relocating. Okay. Don't really have time for a Zoom this week, but hey, I want to call you back in a day or two. Or I want to text you back. Let's just call it in a day or two. So SCC BAM, well, let's finish through this. BombBomb. If you get into a good habit of BombBomb, using BombBomb every single time you talk to and have a meaningful conversation, not good things, but great things will happen. Then adding notes to Boomtown, your DAR as well. If it's a short-term follow-up, you definitively want to put your notes on your DAR. And the long-term follow-up, fair enough, we can use to a Boomtown with something different conversation. Using marketing at, have an MC, just get into a good habit of sending the contacts information, ask them for their address. Hey, I want to put something in the mail to you. What's your mailing address? Right? Send it over to marketing at and send the message you want to send, and there you go. And then the appointment. People get confused on this. When the next appointment, I'm sitting down with you face to face today. Today's Thursday. Let's plan on doing this because we want to stay in front of people. Let's plan on seeing some homes maybe Saturday, right? Tell them the time. Like you have a birthday party at 2:00. Let's see some homes maybe Saturday morning around 9:30 or 10. Just a couple so I can get an idea of what you're looking for. Why do we do something like that? Why are we always sending the next appointment? It's a close. We are always closing people. Why? We're building more rapport, building a relationship. We're their go-to person. Even if the homes do not meet 100% what they're looking for, we're just trying to get face-to-face again. We're not trying to run ragged, but we have to set the next appointment. Let's use, for example, I want to set, I don't know, 4, maybe 5 appointments on this next scenario. Okay. You're coming into town, let's say in a month. Okay. You and your wife coming into town in a month. We're on the phone right now. So let's do this. Let's you and, Jenny, let's set up a Zoom for tomorrow at 4:00. Let's talk about the areas that, you should be looking in, and maybe some of the areas, that you shouldn't be looking in, that maybe you're wasting your time looking in right now, given what you told me. I want to make sure Jenny's on the same page with our location. That's the most important thing. Then what I want to do is get you a backstage pass to the MLS. Okay. And then from there, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, early mid next week, I want to follow up with you and Jenny to make sure you receive the home ideas. Okay. Then, let's call it, you're here in a month. So 2 weeks goes by. Let's connect. We'll start to put together a game plan for when you do get here. And then I would say probably Wednesday or Thursday before you guys get here, let's connect again to see what homes we want to see for Saturday. And then Saturday, let's plan on go ahead and seeing some homes at 9:30. I just closed you 5, I don't know, I stopped counting 5 times. That's the next appointment, the next call, right? I set the time. I tell them what's going to happen. I deliver on what's going to happen, but they continue hearing from me and they don't need to hear from anyone else. Okay. Now let's talk about SCC Bama just a little bit more because this is really important. These are all tools to open up conversation. Okay. We all have, everyone likes to communicate in different ways. Some people are I don't say old fashioned, that sounds horrible, but they like to pick up the phone and call someone. Some people prefer text. There's still a lot of people that like email communication. Okay. So when we're on the phone, we're saying save my number. Okay. We can text them, we can email them. We're talking about the next follow-up date, whatever that case looks like, but we're hitting all 3 ideas around the communication and we can even ask people, what is your preferred way of communication? Do you like to text? Do you like to email? Or do you like to pick up the phone? What do you prefer? I don't care. Cool. I want to do all 3 until I see which one is your favorite. You don't know you have a favorite, but we're setting SCC Bama is simply establishing communication, lines of communication and follow-up. Okay. And what I was mentioning a minute ago on follow-up, I think this is a good time just to kind of brief on the follow-up. So 2 different types of follow-up, short-term, long-term. Short-term, I talked to you today just like I did, and I said, hey, we're going to set a Zoom. Then I want to follow up with you on Tuesday or Wednesday, early mid next week. Let's just call. Okay. That's going on my DAR. That's not going into Boomtown. Now, the 2 week notice, fair enough. That needs to go, if you prefer your Google Calendar, that definitely needs to go into your Boomtown 2 week. And just set those to-dos, right? But your short-term follow-up needs to be in your DAR. Okay. That's immediate to do for the next day or whenever that case is. In this scenario, today is Thursday. I would write it on my Sunday DAR to follow up with Joe and whatever the person's name was I used a minute ago on Tuesday or Wednesday about making sure they receive the homes that I emailed them through Boomtown. Okay, that's the whole principle around SCC Bama, and it's a huge component of what we do and how to be successful. Okay, next up on the list, just simple credit questions. Know these six. Last time, who did it, why? Know all these words: who, why, how. Have you been late on payments? Do you have any credit cards? Know these questions or the keywords around that. Inventory, there's just no inventory. Same keyword, game plan to get them face to face. Okay, we need to have a game plan, not a game plan, game plan. Most important to know about a relocation scenario. This is repeat. I'll have a look at this later, but hey, it's worth mentioning again. Education, baby. How much do you know? Not just about Charlotte, about everything. How many times have you been here? Who have you been here with? When's the next time you're going to be here? Because the more education they know, the more likelihood that they're going to buy. Okay. Now, if they don't know that much and they just got a relocation dropped on their head, that doesn't mean they're not going to buy. We might have to be the person help educating. Okay. But how much of the education they know? When, keyword here, when do you want to be here next? When do you need to be inside your house? When do you start your new job? When does your, short-term lease start? How long do you have that short-term lease? All when questions, timing questions. Okay. And then do they have any visits, etc. So that could be cutting the line, but there's our three keywords. Yes, I'm pre-approved. How long, who with, how much, what type of loan. Right. So somebody's pre-approved. Congratulations. You're pre-approved. Don't forget to congratulate them. It's a little step towards the report. Okay. Sale for free inbound. What is our protocol? Know this. Simply set the appointment, just like we always would. They're calling in, set the appointment, preview the home. They're calling in on. However, we need to see their home first. It's required by the sale for free, and the seller requires that we preview your home first. We don't get a lot of these, but when we do, know this protocol. Very simple. We're going to see your home first. Okay, but we still give them the appointment up front to see the house that they're calling in on. But in order to do that, we're going to preview their home first. Now, if you're only a buyer agent currently at this time, there's no reason why you cannot go preview someone's house, right? You're building rapport. And then later we can get, one of the listing specialists over with you or by themselves, right? You're just previewing their house, making sure the condition is what it is they say it is, and building rapport. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay. They need to sell first. Two simple protocols. You can shorten this up whatever way you want to. Do you need to sell first? This is the main question. Okay. This you can't shorten up. You might be able to shorten up a couple words, but sell first before you purchase. Okay. What do you need? What can you do? Do you need to sell or do you not? Yeah. And then what type of appointment you go for. So if they need to sell first, we go seller. They don't need to sell, buyer. So own script certified. If you see this as part of one of your questions, this is what is required to be noted. So we can high five the fact that you know this and you're rocking this out. You can fill in the blanks. All right. Looking for a friend. So my experience, you can convert about 50% of these people. Okay. However, these are two keywords. This is actually your keyword, rapport. Before you can ask for their information, if you don't have rapport, actually, here's something more important to know, mama. Show value, right? If you don't show value, like, oh, that's awesome. Your friends, your son's looking here in Matthews. Well, that's fantastic. My team and I, we actually specialize, in relocating, in helping folks relocate here to the area, right? Tell me exactly what your son or daughter is looking for, right? They might know everything and they might see something and want you to go see it for them, or like with, the mom or dad. But if we don't show value, you will not get this information. You will not get the friend's information. Okay. You don't show what. So if you're on script certified and you get this question, these are the two words, well, three really: rapport, show value. Then you can ask for the friend's information. Okay? All right, unhappy with the agent. This is really important. So you can shorten this up, write this out, whatever way you want to. Just need to be apparent that the key word here are options. Do you know your options? Okay, what are your options? Okay, and here, there's a really, really, really gray line. We don't cross that gray. We never will. However, this is what we say, and it's what you need to know. At CREE, we offer and you can say cancellation guarantee. You can fire us at any time. I don't know what your options are, but this is what we do. Okay. We should not tell them, go find out what your options are and do this. You cannot do that. However, if you lead the horse to the water, majority of the time they're going to drink. Now, if they don't drink, we can't force them to say, like, hey, find out your contract. Send me what your contract says. This is what you, no, the state, no. They need to find, do you know what your options are? At CREE, we do this. 99% of the people are like, let me see what my options are. We didn't tell them to do it, so we are not coming near that gray line. However, if we don't do this, we will not have a chance, and these people are going to be pissed that they're working with somebody they don't want to. Do you know what your options are? Keyword. Okay? And at CREE, we offer one. So if that's on script certified, be ready. That's fair enough. All right, 2 styles of seller questions. Know these. With competition and no competition. So when there's no competition, have somebody calling in, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. Maybe they're not ready for an appointment. Maybe you're trying to go for the appointment. The two things there's several things we can focus on. Okay. But simply put, no competition, the benefit of me coming out. Let's suppose they're pushing back on the appointment. Miss Sue, let me put it to you this way. The benefit for you of me coming out, we're not going to go over marketing and all these crazy numbers. I'm just going to preview your house. We see a lot of people over improve their home in a market where it's really not necessary. And I don't want you wasting time or money. Anything else you want to say, oh, that's fine. Also, we can review numbers. Once I see your house, I can kind of give you an idea about where you're going to sell in this current market, etc. With competition, they might not want to meet with us because they've already interviewed 2 people, whatever the case is. Same 2. And you can even, if you need to, you can get rid of the reviewing numbers. That might not be important to them. So they've already had 2 people. They don't need to review numbers again. All right. But keep it in your back pocket, but over improving, and then we add overprice and underprice. So why are we adding overprice and underprice and we don't have it here? Well, if there's no competition, we use overprice and underprice, unfortunately, to kind of scare people. Why? Because it can happen. And if people overprice their home, it's proven that there's a very, very, very likelihood they're going to take 3, 4, 5, 6, 10% less than they would have if they would have priced the home properly. And we see a lot of new agents out there underpricing home. I've scooped up several over the years. See something hit the market within seconds. I'm calling the agent, hey, have an offer in your hand in the next 45 minutes, cash. Let's do this, right? They're underpricing and overpricing. So if we know there's competition, these are the 4 things we're focusing on for the seller recommendation. Okay. Style of seller questions and questions. Seller recos. Not bad there. Okay. So for script certified, you'll see competition, no competition. No competition, there's 2. With competition, there's 4. Okay. Buyer tells you they're looking, oh, they were looking in the past. We're looking last year, whatever the case is. Concept. What's changed? And now are you really serious? What's changed? What held you back last time? What's different from last time? So there are several ways you could show that you know this, but the concept is what's changed. Okay. Then we need to understand why. Why did you not buy? Okay. The key word here is step 3. Let's go and mark that. Beautiful word. Love preference. Was it your preference? All right. So next we're going to start with, right before we get into some general seller questions. So this goes for the buyer side or listing side. I'm interviewing agents. All right. So you don't get this a lot on the buyer side, but you will. Listing side, you'll get this a lot more. However, everyone needs to know this for script certified. So sitting at the kitchen table and it's a listing appointment, let's say. I am not definitively signing paperwork. You are not going to convince me whatsoever. We don't do what's it going to take, da 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 da. Okay. So we have to distinguish what's the three most important things, Mr. and Miss Seller, that you're looking for in regards to making your decision. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. They tell us what they are. Okay. We can even ask what's the most important one. It's probably wise. So is commission the number one thing? Yes, it is. Perfect. All right. How are you going to make your decision? Okay. Is it just on commission? Is it on how many homes we sold in the area? Suppose that was one of the objections. They're looking for the market expert in my neighborhood. My neighbor sold 2 homes in the last 4 years. Right. They're a market neighborhood expert. No. How are you going to make your decision? Right. What's 3 most things that was important for you? Commission, local knowledge, and the amount of home sales. Okay. So in regards to the commission, is that the number one decision maker? Yes. Is that how you want to determine your decision? Is based on commission, or how important are the other 2? Local expert, yeah, the 3 people we're talking to, they've all sold homes in our neighborhood. I forget what the other is. Doesn't matter. But commissions are the main one. Okay, is there anything around commission that we could talk about, discuss, high five on today that could help you move your decision forward? Nope, there's not. My wife and I want to think about it and whatever. At least at this point, we know how they're going to make their decision and what's most important. Same on the buyer side. We're interviewing agents. Our bank said we need to talk to 3 agents. So that's what we're doing. And okay. So when we finish, we built a rapport, we're finishing up and we're asking for a buyer loyalty sign. Like, no, we're interviewing other, 2 other agents. Oh, okay. So you're definitely not getting paperwork signed. Same concept. 3 most important things that you're both looking for in regards to purchasing your first home. Education is important, da, 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 da. Okay. So in regards to making your decision, is A, B, and C, which one's more important? How are you going to make your decision? Is it more just based on education, blah, or blah? Okay. Simple concept. What are the 3 most important things you're looking for? And how are you going to make your decision? Okay. All right, moving on, general seller questions. So just FYI, this is going to be a to be continued video session, seller objections. However, for now, I want to make sure everyone is script certified with the information that we went through here, and then from our general seller questions. So there are 16 seller questions. I expect everyone to be on board and know these. So if you ever sold a home, what's the lowest you're willing to take? What price are you considering to list at? Sold 30 days be an issue. All decision makers really important. It seems like we miss that one every once in a while. And are you interviewing other agents? Okay. This right here, I want everyone to be able to spit this out like beasts. So before we get off the phone, Mr. Seller, if everything looks good when I come out tomorrow at 3 o'clock, the marketing makes sense, we high five on the numbers, you love our team, are you going to be ready to get paperwork signed? Or are you ready to get paperwork signed to get your home sold? Or paperwork signed to get the ball moving to get your home sold? It doesn't matter. Are you going to be ready? We don't dance around that question. Are you going to be ready to get paperwork signed? Right? You can stop it right there. But everyone should know these 16 questions. Okay. Now, expired inbound, same thing. We should all know these, and that is the expectation for script certified. Most of the time, not most of the time, a lot of these are the same, but there's a lot of the same concepts as well. I want everyone also in your MC blueprint, you will see this written out. It's really long, very long. All I want us to know is how to basically brag on the team. Well, the 300 homes, we did not hit 300 homes last year. So we can probably change that to hundreds of homes. However, aggressive marketing, photography, network, and Zillow, Realtor.com, and then Facebook cookies. We need to be able to talk about those. I do not expect everybody to memorize that full massive, I think it's almost 2 pages worth, freaking ridiculous. Just ignore this for now. These are just some scenarios that we're going to talk about later down the road, and just one of those documented here. But this is script certified, and this is what's going to make us the best damn listeners here in the Carolinas, hence the best prospectors and best converters on the phone, because there's not as many opportunities as there were back in 2020, 2021. However, the ones that we get, we just have to know how to handle, listen, offer opportunities, and really freaking crush it. So hope you enjoyed this, and let's kick some ass.